standing in the way. Okay, so now we go to the back of the tractor. I'm going to start with my reflectors up top. Clear in color, securely mounted, not cracked, damaged, or broken. My utility lights, clear in color, securely mounted. They are not cracked, damaged, or broken. My electrical connection, securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. It is not cracked, damaged, or broken. Down here, you see that where the air lines are going into? That is your tractor protection valve, which is securely mounted. It is not cracked, damaged, or broken, and it is not leaking. All my connections or air lines are securely connected. They are not cracked, damaged, or leaking. And you go into your service line, the emergency line, which is the red one, not cracked, damaged, or leaking. My air line, the green one, or electrical line, electrical line, not ripped, frayed, or torn, no signs of shiny threads. Okay? Takes us to our glad hands, okay, the red and blue. They're securely mounted, they are not cracked, damaged, and they are not leaking. My electrical connection at the trailer, securely mounted, all my bolts are in place, it is not cracked, damaged, or broken. Okay, from there, my steps, catwalk, securely mounted, all my bolts are in place, no, most of them, not cracked, damaged, or broken, and they are free of debris. Okay, brings me into my exhaust, okay, all the way over here. My exhaust is securely mounted. It is not cracked, damaged, or leaking. There are no signs of holes or signs of excessive soot. Okay, everybody got that? Drive shaft. All right, my drive shaft is securely mounted. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. My universal joints, you can probably get a good shot of this one over here. You know, this whole thing here. My universal joint, securely mounted. It's not dangerously worn. All my bolts are in place, and it is free of debris. Okay. My torque bar right here. Whoops, sorry. There you go. Hard to see, but it's there. Securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. Not cracked, damaged, or bent. Okay. Hang on. I'll be right back over there now. There, still want to be up and in here, just like we did with the front. Okay, I'm going to start from the inside. I'm going to work my way all the way out. This may sound familiar. My air lines are securely connected. They are not cracked, damaged, or leaking. My brake chamber is securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. It is not cracked, damaged, or dented, and it is not leaking. My push rod and slack adjusters are securely mounted. They are not cracked, damaged, or bent. All my parts are in place. It is not leaking, and there is no more than 1 inch of free play. Okay? From there, I'm going to move out. My frame. My frame is securely mounted. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. There are no signs of excessive holes or illegal welds, which would weaken my frame. From there, mud flap splash guard. Securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. Not cracked, damaged, or broken. Takes me to my spring hanger. Okay, now it's dark over here, so it's going to be hard to see because I'm going to go straight down the line with the suspension, which should sound familiar to you guys. Okay, my spring hanger is securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. It is not cracked, damaged, or broken. My springs are securely mounted. They are not cracked, damaged, broken, shifted, or missing. Okay, my U-bolts are securely mounted. They are not cracked, damaged, or bent, and all my nuts are in place. My bushing, which is in between the 2 U-bolts, is securely mounted. It is not cracked, damaged, or missing. Takes me to my shock absorber. My shock absorber is securely mounted. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent, and it is not leaking. All my bolts are in place. My airbag is securely mounted. It is not ripped, frayed, or torn. All my bolts are in place, and it is not leaking. That brings me out to my brake drum and liner. My brake drum and liner is securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. There are no signs of holes or illegal welds. My brake liner is not dangerously worn thin, no more than 1/4 inch, and is free of contamination such as grease and oil. From there, sidewall, 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 sidewall. Yep, no breezes, no bubbles, no cuts. Top of my tire, evenly worn, no less than 2/32 tread depth. My bud space is free of debris. My rims, securely mounted. They are not cracked, damaged, or bent. there are no signs of illegal welds. All my lug nuts are securely mounted. They are not cracked, damaged, or missing at the bolt hole. There are no signs of cracks or distortions indicating an over-tightened lug nut. There are no signs of rust trails or shiny threads indicating a loose lug nut. My axle seal is securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. It is not cracked, damaged, or leaking. My valve stems are securely mounted. They are straight. They are not cracked, damaged, or leaking. My metal caps are in place. If I needed to put or check air on my tires, this is where I would do it with a proper tire gauge. Okay? Now at this point, again, I would check all my tires the same way I check this one. Okay? Which brings us to me and say, yeah, good, you did a great job, move on. All right? Normally there's a mud flap here. Obviously this one broke off. You can see the remnants of it. My mud flap is securely mounted. It is not cracked, damaged, or broken. All my bolts are in place. Excuse me. And my DOT tape is 100%. Okay?
On the mud flap.
On the mud flap.
Yeah.
Mud flap.
On the mud flap. This one's just missing a mud flap. Okay? From there, you're going to go underneath the truck. Literally go underneath the truck. I'm going to start with your 2 red reflectors. Red in color, securely mounted, not cracked, damaged, or broken. My reverse light, clear in color, securely mounted, not cracked, damaged, or broken. My turn signals, 4 ways, marker lights, and brake lights. Red in color, securely mounted, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Okay? While you're there, you're going to look straight ahead. Okay? You won't be able to see it from here. You literally have to be right behind the tractor. Okay? My locking jaw is in the locked position around my kingpin. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. My kingpin itself, which you cannot see, is securely mounted. It is in the pocket. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. Okay? From there, you're going to crawl back out. And you're going to come to here. My apron. My apron is securely mounted. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. And there are no signs of excessive holes. Okay. My skid plate, which is the top of your 5th wheel, is securely mounted. It is well greased, and there is 0 clearance between my apron and my skid plate. The silver thing there, okay, my pivot pin. My pivot pin is securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. My release handle is in the locked position with the safety catch also in the locked position. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. The pyramid looking thing, okay, you can kind of see it. That is your 5th wheel platform. My 5th wheel platform is securely mounted. All my welds are intact. They are not cracked or damaged, and there are no signs of illegal welds. The thing with all the holes in it here, that is my sliding 5th wheel. My sliding 5th wheel is securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. And my locking pins are all in the lock position. It's a total of 6 of them, but you don't have to worry about that.
3 on the side, 3 on the other.
Exactly, but all my locking pins are in the lock position. The piece of steel below it, if you look over here, you see that a piece of angle iron right there? All right.
Yes.
That is your 5th wheel mount. Okay, it's just easier to see it here because over here you're only seeing a 1/4 inch. Okay, actually 1/8 of an inch. My 5th wheel mount is securely mounted. All my bolts are in place. It is not cracked, damaged, or bent. Okay? And finally, my 5th wheel is positioned properly. Okay? There is no less than 3 feet from the front of my trailer to the back of my cab. Once again, 0 clearance from my apron to my skid plate. And no less than 3 feet from my landing gear to the back of my tractor. Okay? At that time, just take a second. Make sure you got everything on the tractor that you needed to mention. Okay? Because you can only go as far back as that marker light, the turn signal forward. You can't go to the engine or anything like that. When you're happy, then you would start the trail. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay.